Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I just finished a podcast interview on my new book, Mommy Am I Different? I'm so proud of this story. You know, it's funny, I'm so comfortable in front of a camera normally, and then I get in an interview and I'm not sure it came out exactly as I wanted it to, but hopefully the essence of the story came out. And so I wanted to share it here as well. You know, Mommy Am I Different is a story about this little girl, Plum, who goes to the playground with her mom and she's made fun of. And she goes to her mom and says, "Mommy, am I different?" She's crying with tears rolling down her face, and her mom says, "Of course you're different, and so am I." As you can see in the book, Plum is a little Chinese girl and her mother is American. This is based on my life and my story with my little girl, who's now an adult. I have two adopted children from China. So this is a story near and dear to my heart, but this is not a story of adoption. That's what I always tell people. This is a story about what it means to be different. And have you ever thought about that? You know, we see things with our earthly eyes that aren't necessarily what the essence of a person is, right? The true beauty of every human being lies on the inside. We can't see it with our eyes. You know, so it's this message, this story is this conversation, a playful conversation between her and her mom, where her mom explains what it means to be different. It's like a beautiful, hopefully, I think it's a beautiful way of sharing that the true beauty of every human being is on the inside. There's a story in the Bible where the prophet Samuel goes to anoint the next king. He goes to the house of Jesse. Jesse lines up his 7 sons, and Samuel thinks, of course, it's going to be Eliab, the oldest, who is a warrior, and he's tall and he's strong. And God basically says to him, "Samuel, I don't judge the way you do. I look at the heart." That's what this story is about. What a beautiful world it would be if we looked at each other through the eyes of our heart instead of our earthly eyes. Our earthly eyes are good for some things, a lot of things, and they are a blessing. And when we use them as a blessing, there you go. But when we use our earthly eyes to see what's different, I'm not sure they're always serving us the best. Have you ever thought about the idea, I've thought about this often, that would we have prejudice and so much judgment in the world if we couldn't see each other? That's the idea, that we're not using our eyes the way they're designed to be used. God gave us all of these gifts. You know, if you think about it, our hands can be used to hold or to harm. You know, our eyes can be used to see what's beautiful or judge what's different. Same with every part of us. You know, there's a book called The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu, which really talks about this great dichotomy between everything that makes us human, right? We can use every part of us for good or evil. And that's kind of the message here. And of course, this message carries on to our platform, Younger Body and Mind, where we're trying to shatter stereotypes that are associated with aging. So this idea transcends age. This idea is important for all of us to learn, but why are we not starting with our children and teaching them that different on the outside is true? Every one of us looks different. There's not, you know, even identical twins don't look exactly the same. So there are, you know, messages here that I hope to get out into the world, that I want people to understand, that I want to share. I want to normalize messages like this for children in children's books. When I tried to publish this years ago, I was told that publishers didn't want books that taught lessons. What a shame that we're not trying to teach our children lessons in fun ways. So I hope to normalize things like this, as I'm doing with the Younger Body and Mind. It's the same idea. You're beautiful and perfect as God intended you to be. Do you know that? I always ask you that question, but I want you to make sure that you know that. I want you to pay attention. I want you to love yourself at every step of your journey. Not everyone gets a long journey in life. I'm going to be 60 in September. It's hard to believe that that many years went by. I'm proud of that because I've had friends who didn't make it this far. And so it doesn't matter, you know, the lines on my face and the changes that I see in my body. That's not me anyway. That's the part that we judge. Did you ever think about it that way? The part that makes me me and makes you you is the part that doesn't change. It's your spirit. Your ageless spirit. That's the ageless warrior inside of you. That's what I always say. Tap into that ageless warrior inside of you. Bring that person out into the world. Forget this outer shell. This isn't who we are. It changes all the time. If I show a picture of when I was 18 versus now, totally different person. So who am I? Am I that? Am I that person who changes every day? Are you the person who changes every day? Or are you the part inside of you that doesn't age? The ageless warrior within, I call it. So I'm excited to share this. My podcast will be coming out. I have two. I did an interview, and then I also just did a podcast. So I'm looking forward to getting the publicity out. If you want to buy this book, it's on Amazon, it's on Barnes & Noble, it's on Apple Books. It's all over. It's called Mommy and My Different by Melissa Whitke. I'm very proud of it. Thanks for joining, everyone. Talk to you soon.